Get up in here. Where'd you at? Let me make sure we good on the social medias. On all of your social medias. All right, we're good on Twitter. Make sure we on the for Yitzib. Yitzib. Y'all chill. Was popular, my guy. Let's get this privacy set it. All right. We going on that. I'm gonna let y'all give y'all a few seconds to get up in this John. You mean? You mean? As always, share the lie, share the lie, share the love, share the love, share the lie for the for the share the lie, share the love. Where y'all at though? Where you at though? I mean minced. I mean, they better get up in here like they don't get these picks. They all want these picks real quick. You heard? You are weekly picks. Come get these Johns. We about to start this countdown. Which I want to listen to. You want to hear some Geechee?
God, the beneficent, the merciful,
Let's see
master
what
of
we
this
got
day of
first.
judgment in which we now live. He alone
Oh,
do
you
we
want to take
serve, and it
forever?
is He alone that we beseech for aid. Guide
Okay,
us
we're
along
gonna
the
rock
right
with
path
this.
and shield us from the
Little
witnesses
CV,
in the
little
road
crooks and
today.
villains.
Bless our mothers, our
I mean,
fathers, our sisters, and our brothers, and all our
shout out to
family.
Killer
And
Banks,
everyone
RIP,
that
my
believes
guy.
in us and believes in themselves, that they can make it in this world, no matter what.
Okay. Yes, sir. We back in it. You caught the beginning too. Oh, you want Teenage Lust? Okay. Okay. I'm gonna just because there was a request. We're gonna rock with Teenage Lust. All right, I got you.
My operation make.
All right, let's rock with the Teenage Lust.
My operation making a separation for rodents. Get out, display rhyming, shining like gold.
Shout out to CV.
Hustlers rapping, more intense.
Francis Fire.
CV, get to RE, serving crack customers.
Start this countdown, let's get it popping.
Back at school, shooting at snakes, losing our stash. Over numbers when dice break. First pack was some cooked up shit. Up the A plus, discuss guns busting and wigs. Snakes trusting lots of hate, put the world at stake. Teenage lust, unbelievably in the black and night. To lose my description if I have to act at night. Craving for fast cars, fast RE. Life of a rap star, thugs young, pulling guns. Not a ones with a 20 on top, flashing in the school lunch line. In the process, drop out and graduate the crime. Respect real stories, no record deal glories. On the block, freestyling, singing tape, record me while I show off for girls in the material world. Slow jam, making a sound, making world. Gossiping, leaning over 3D walls, modeling, breakdancing, wild style moves. Off the slow moves, we roll.
Yeah, you got time, Mr. Holiday. Yes, sir. Everybody got time. That's why I'm early today too. I'm about to get it all the way in. If you feel me, West End Charles Street style. Yes, steamy. Before it get too late. You know what I'm saying? We back at it. This is episode 13. We consistent with consistent work. Last week I had a little things going on, so we didn't do it last week, but I gave y'all the picks. Here's the thing about those picks from last week. Jones was 11-2. Woo! 11-2. And then we was 10-4, no, 10-3 on the just straight up picks. 10-3 on the straight up picks, 11-2 against the spread. Y'all better get this money. Only the crazy 3 weeks were the crazy 3 weeks that the 49ers didn't do well. I guess I do as good as the 49ers do. So that's what it looks like to me. So every time the 49ers do well, we going to do well because my fantasy team has the same record as the 49ers right now as well. We 8-3. We 8-3 on the fantasy. I know the 49ers are 7-3 because they had a bye week. There ain't no bye week in fantasy. I'm 8-3, number one. If y'all need receipts and evidence, I got that for you. That's what I do. Geechee GM Chan, Geechee A Smith. You're like so this week these games are a little crazy. They got the 49ers on the I'm gonna have to do some research. When's the last time the 49ers played on Thanksgiving? Anybody know that? Does anybody know out there? Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Anybody know the last time the 49ers played on Thanksgiving? I don't know that. I'm genuinely asking. This is not trivia. You can use Google, whatever. When was the last time the 49ers? Last time 49ers played on Thanksgiving? Because I'm not sure. I am not sure. You know what I'm saying? It was at least on a Tuesday. You know what I'm saying? Even though Thanksgivings are on Thursday, I'm pretty sure it was Tuesday the last time they played on Thanksgiving. Who in there 78 year had just played? We played 5 on Thanksgiving, but we played several. We played more on Christmas Eve. Here's an interesting fact. Today years old, we played more games on Christmas Eve than we have on Thanksgiving. We only played 5 ever on Thanksgiving. So that's probably. I'm like, I don't remember. There's just certain teams that just don't play on Thanksgivings a lot. Your two teams you're always going to have. I say this all the time for those that don't know. Your two teams are going to be the Cowboys and the Lions because they started it. They were the first teams to do it. So um, they're always going to play. They don't always play each other, but they always play. If you didn't notice that, now you know. No, baby. You know what I'm saying? Biggie Smalls voice. But the Cowboys and the Lions always play. Always play. I remember, and that's what I used to love about Thanksgiving back in the '90s was watching Barry Sanders torch everyone, and I mean everyone, on Thanksgiving Day. My favorite one was when the Patriots back and forth when he was going juking them back and forth and the ball was spinning all backwards, all crazy. That was probably my favorite game was the Barry Sanders and the Patriots. I believe that was Thanksgiving. Correct me if I'm wrong, people out there, but I believe they were. I'm still trying to look up. They've had 2 Thanksgiving games since 1972, 2014, and so the final state to plan 2020. The Seattle Seahawks 2014 and the Ravens in 2011. So that's why I don't remember it like that. So the last time the 49ers played on Thanksgiving was 2014. That team was horrible. That team was garbage. That was almost 10 years ago. That was 9 years ago. Lord, that's when we had like Quentin Patton, Chip Kelly. What was that? Jim Tom Sula, 2014 year. Lord have mercy. We were horrible in 2014. That's why I don't remember. And then 2011, we played the Ravens, which was the prequel to the Super Bowl. I remember that one because they had the brothers playing for Thanksgiving. I remember being in Pennsylvania for that and being at my aunt's house um, for that Thanksgiving. I remember that one though, but that was 12 years ago. Um, but besides that, it's been 9 years since the 49ers played on Thanksgiving. I'm going to love it. It's at evening too. I'm having Thanksgiving at my house this year for some family. Um, and y'all better be out by 8 o'clock or out that man cave at least or shutting up. Yeah, I know some of y'all are in my house now and you might be able to hear me. Um, 49ers play at 8. You either shut up or get out. You know where I'm gonna be at. I'm gonna be in the Chan Cave where it goes down at. You hear me? Where it goes down at. But this is why y'all here. Y'all here for y'all weekly picks. Y'all ain't here for me to ramble on about Thanksgiving. How about how about actually what's y'all favorite thing for Thanksgiving real quick? While I'm getting to these picks and I'm setting everything up, what is y'all favorite thing for Thanksgiving? What is y'all favorite food? I know one of the things I like to make that's just random that I only eat about once or twice a year that I make. Um, I'm making a few things, but the one thing that I'm making is banana pudding. I love banana pudding. I'm making banana pudding this year. I'm making ham and some other things too, but banana pudding is one of my favorite things. What's y'all random Thanksgiving food? Don't put like mac and cheese. You put mac and cheese, you whack and cheese. Like don't put turkey because you a jive turkey. Don't put ham because you know what I'm saying? Ham. Nah, don't do that. Give me some random. I want a random. Yeah, I mean for y'all. Are we getting to these picks? You hear me? Ain't. All right, where's my cord? Because we lagging a little bit. Okay, we in there. We in there like somewhere. All right. All right, let's get to these picks. Let's get to these picks. EJ Smith, make sure you share it live. First and foremost to the stage. Who we got? First game, Thanksgiving game. Like I mentioned before, Lions and the Cowboys always play on Thanksgiving. So first up, we have the 12:30 game. It's only right that it's the 12:30 game because this is about the time that people are going to be cooking food, and or getting ready to start eating or indulging in whatever libation that you were involved in. Because nobody really wants to see the Lions and the Packers. This would have been good, if this Lions team were playing like the Packers from like 3 or 4 years ago. But I mean, this ain't nothing really to write home about. Even the point spread jumped a little bit. So I'm at to switch that on my end just because I still going to keep it what I got it, but I ain't gonna tell you until I switch it. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I ain't gonna spend a lot of time because I ain't going back and forth with you Ziggins about this game. This is yeah, I'm cool on that. So we got the Lions and the Packers. What we rocking with the 7.5? Yeah, I like the Lions. I mean, I like the Packers. I like the Packers with the 7.5 under 47.5, but I like the Lions to win because I was have to put that in parentheses for those that just want to pick a team. I like the Packers with the 7.5. Why do I like the Packers with the 7.5? It's a divisional game and it's a Thursday game. Those are recipes for under, and those are recipes for tighter games than normal. Now, the Lions are playing very good offense, but their defense is a little suspect. They might be susceptible to things that Matt LaFleur is going to put out there. Some of those round concepts that the Lions aren't. The Lions are just winning off of just pure grit. They aren't the greatest team. They just are finding ways to beat teams, which is all you need every week is just to beat the team in front of you, and that can be hard to some teams. But a little bit more polished offense, I don't think the Packers are going to win by any means, but I think they are going to give them a little run for their money. They are a little bit healthier than they have been. Um, yeah, they're not going to win, obviously, but I think the Lions are going to win, but I just don't think they're going to beat them by 8 points. Ain't does that make sense? It better make sense. Next up, we got the Cowboys and the Commanders. Back in the day, it was the Cowboys and the Redskins. I know that's offensive, but that's what it was. You know, it was the Indians versus the Cowboys, like, back in the whatever days. Um, yeah, so this changed. It was at 11 when I did this. Just to let y'all know what it's at. Now it's at 12 and a half. Like that thing is going crazy. And I think that might be, let me double check on the Sam Howell thing, because that could be. I'm gonna just check something. Give me 2 seconds to check my thing real quick. Let me check something real quick. Give me 2 seconds, guys. 2 seconds. I gotta check this. Come on, come on, come on. I said 2 seconds. Come on. Sam Howell injuries. Hmm. See, here's the thing. The Commanders. I don't know. I might be. Give me 2 seconds. I gotta look this up real quick. Give me 2 seconds. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry, man. Good night. Um, I think they did that because they lost to the Giants like that, and then the Cowboys are literally blowing everybody out. I mean, if you aren't a good team, the Cowboys are blowing you out. That's just the bottom line, and that's what good teams do. They blow out bad teams, and the Commanders are a bad team, but I know they're a bad team, but I don't know if they're 12 and a half points worse than the Cowboys in the divisional game, because they always play the Cowboys tough, and that's why they're putting them on Thanksgiving, because they usually play the Cowboys tough, and especially on Thanksgiving. Um, I think I'm gonna just stick with my gut on that because I'm not seeing anything crazy on my end. I think I'm gonna stick with my gut on that. And this is the first time they're seeing them. All right, y'all might be mad at it, but I like the Commanders, the 12 and a half, and under 49. But I think the boys are going to win single-handed. I think they're going to win convincingly. They might even win by 10 points. I just don't think they've been blowing them out. So the Cowboys have been great against the spread the last few weeks, even at these 12s and 16s and things like that. This is a trappy chan. I will stay away from this one. It's a trap. Don't believe it. It is a trap. I would stay away from it personally. If you're gonna do a pick the boys for a pick. But as far as this point spread, that scares me a little bit because the Commanders always play them tough, and they didn't play each other yet. Um, so that scares me a little bit. So I would stay away from that if I was y'all personally. Personally, but I gotta pick one because we gotta do what we gotta do. You hear me? All right, next up, we got for the division, Seahawks and the 49ers. The Seahawks haven't shown me anything that makes me think that they're going to do anything worthy of anything. Um, Shout out to my guy Pete, but yeah, even if they're at home, I know it's Thursday. Um, just the way the Seahawks defense is and the way the 49ers offense is. The 49ers have just owned the Seahawks the last few times, the Rams, the Cardinals. They've pretty much been on the division. They just kind of have the division sewn up a little bit. And everyone's healthy. Um, and that's key for the 49ers. The 49ers are very tough to beat when they are healthy. So with that said, I do like them with the 7. And we're going over just because, yeah, division rivalry, but this is a low scoring division rivalry type game. The 49ers are averaging a nice amount of points. The Seahawks are averaging a nice amount of points. I think um, the Thursday night's going to do them differently. It's going to get Seahawks blown out potentially. Anything can happen. It's the NFL, but I like 49ers in the 7. I mean, it's 44. It was at 43. I still like over 44 as well. Then we got the first Friday night game, Black Friday game. They trying something new. Maybe to try to get away a little bit from Thursday night games. I don't know. Black Friday game, first time ever. I'm digging it. I'm not doing too much. We're gonna be watching this game. We might even live stream some of it. Um, you know, Come out here and watch, do a little watch party. You know what I'm saying? Um, So, Jets and the Dolphins. The Jets have benched Zach Wilson. Finally, that experiment is gone. Zach Wilson is horrible. Zach Wilson is trash. I am glad that this experiment is over with. With that being said, I think the Dolphins are going to play a little bit better because Zach Wilson was holding them back. You look at all of his statistics and analysis and the data that points to him being a horrible quarterback. He holds the ball too long. He just not only did they take away his job, they demoted him to third string quarterback because he just wasn't doing anything he was supposed to. He was doing he's just a horrible quarterback. Temperament as well. He's a spoiled little brat. Um, However, their defense is still their defense. Their defense is solid. I like the Jets defense. So this is what I'm gonna do for y'all. I like the Jets with the 10, but I think the Dolphins win because of the defenses and because of the coordinators. So Mike McDaniels and Robert Sala uh, were on the same team with Kyle Shanahan. So Robert knows how to play against that Miami offense. They're always going to play them tough, and the Jets defense is solid. It's their offense that's causing them fits. So I actually like the Jets to be a little bit tighter. I still think pause, but I still think the Dolphins are going to win single handedly. Probably even by a touchdown. But the 10. It's the 10 points for me specifically. Might be another one y'all might want to steer clear of on a Friday, random Friday game. Might get a little weird. Might get a little weird. Uh, Next up, we got the Bucks versus the Colts. Now, I think they're making the Colts better than what they are, and I think they're making the Bucks worse than what they are. The Bucks lost to a very good 49ers team. They look pretty solid at points. Um, but it's the 49ers and they have too many weapons. The Colts don't have too many weapons. The Colts actually play into the very hands of what the Bucks do well. especially the run defense with Vita Vea and things of that nature. Christian McCaffrey couldn't run that free up against that Bucks defense, and guard Minshew, I don't think is going to have time to throw like that. I actually like the Bucks outright with that 2.5. Like they giving them 2.5. I think they're actually going to win personally. I think it's going to be over 44 because both of their defense are mediocre, but I think the Bucks are going to bring enough defense to give Gardner Minshew some fits. Okay. Next up, this thing's lagging crazy on my end. Like, come on, bro. How you lagging? I'm literally plugged into the router, driving me nuts. Next up, we got the Trevors versus the Texans. The Trevors versus the Texans. Um, for some reason, the Texans always beat the Jaguars. I don't know why. It's mind-boggling. They seem to have their number. Here's a crazy thing. This is for the division lead too. I like CJ Stroud's temperament. I like D'Amico Ryan's putting together a defensive plan against the Trevor. He's not a good a quarterback as y'all think he is. The Texans defense is not as good as they should be. Their offense has actually been winning them games, ironically, because we would have thought with D'Amico Ryan's being there that their defense is going to be solid, but their offense has been crazy. CJ Stroud is playing not only like a rookie of the year candidate, he's playing like an MVP candidate. Like those numbers, and he's literally single handedly winning games for like he's MVP candidate as a rookie. I don't remember the last time that's happened. I have to look that up. But and with that said, I actually like the Texans outright. They're at home as well. I like them. And I like the over 48 because the Texans defense is not the greatest. Jaguars defense is okay, but I like CJ Stroud against the blitz. His numbers his percentages are good against the blitz. Next up, Titans and the Panthers battled the mids. Hot butter garbage game. We ain't gonna spend a lot of time on this hot butter garbage game. The Titans are going to. This guy has to be Mike Vrabel's last year. It has to be. They have a new GM. Um, I mean, he might even want to bring Steve Wilks because you know the 49ers defensive coordinators only last about a season, two at the most. Um, so he might even try to bring Steve Wilks or something, not knowing that Steve Wilks is not going to be a good head coach. He's an okay defense coordinator when he has a system around him in place to hold him accountable because he's good, but he needs accountability because he just wants to do things just to do things, like calling zero coverage when you know 10 seconds left in a half. Like he just does things that are just ridiculous. He made a few inerrant calls against the Bucks that I was like, what are you doing? However, he has the talent on the back end to make up for some of his deficiencies. Um, I think he's doing a heck of a job because they have the number one defense in all the statistical categories that matter. But you should when you got an all pro on every level of the defense and the number one pick on every level of the defense. Yeah, this game completely sucks. Chucks. I agree with you. And that's why I say I ain't spending a lot of time on this game. Um, Mike Vrabel needs to be his last year. Frank Wright needs to be one and done. I don't know. Sorry, I'm back. Had to restart that nonsense. Like the heck. Lord have mercy. Piss me off. Fuck. Anyway, we're also rudely interrupted. This game sucks. Even the internet didn't want me to spend. Yeah, this game sucks. Even the internet didn't even want me to spend no time on this game. Like, all right, cool. Frank Reich needs to be gone. So does Mike Vrabel. Next, I'm picking the Panthers actually because the Titans are just that bad. I think the Titans are just that bad. They are horrible, and the Panthers are going to do some things well to actually win the game. It- It's weird. I know, but I think they're actually going to beat them. Ironically, call it a coin toss. Giants and the Patriots, another hot, better garbage game. We're not going to go back and forth with this game a lot. We're just going to talk about how this needs to be Brian Dable's last year. But even though they already came out and said Brian Dable and Daniel Jones are coming back for the year, like why would you say that already? Did There's still 7 games left in the year. Like why would you say that they're coming back next year already? And there's 7 games left in the year. I feel you. It's complete trash. I feel you on that. Like, but Belichick is Lord, his thing is crazy. My internet's going crazy right now. I don't know why. Ooh Lord. Oh my Lord. I'm about to Yeah, I ain't gonna be doing this all day. Like it ain't that crazy and that serious. I'm about to find, let me see something. Let me see if my Wi-Fi is working, but I don't know why this is we about to do we're about to connect. Technical difficulties. I can understand if you guys want to leave me. I understand, man. We're almost there. I'm just gonna go through these quickly because this is getting on my nerves. And yeah, they're going to lose. Pluck the birds. All right, so Panthers 3.5. Boom. All right, Saints Falcon. Another hot butter garbage game. We ain't gonna spend a lot of time because the internet's acting crazy. Falcons. We going with the Falcons. Bam. Under 42. Y'all better have y'all pencil and pen. Because we ain't spending a lot of time on these stupid games. My internet's working better than my Ethernet. That's crazy. I don't know why. I mean, my Wi-Fi. working better than my Ethernet. Might be the cord. But anyway, so yeah, because this is working a lot better. So yeah, Falcons, bam. Next one, Steelers, Bengals. Joe Burrow's out. That's that sucks. That really sucks because this makes this even more hot butter garbage game than it was going to be. Um, it wasn't going to be too bad, but now it's going to be worse. They're giving the Steelers a point and a half. Um, I actually, here's the thing. I still like the Bengals because the Bengals have a pretty solid defense. I like the Bengals because they still have a pretty solid defense. Um, so we're actually gonna. I believe so. I believe so. I still think the Bengals are gonna win because Kenny Pickett is the worst statistical quarterback in like the last 20 years. This man has less touchdowns than Will Levis and who else is it? I forget who it is. This man only got like man, he's horrible. Kenny Pickett is horrible. His hands are tiny. I don't know what's wrong with him. I'm going with the Bengals still, even with Joe Burrow out, just because Pickett is trash. Next up, Russell Wilson slander. He's been doing better. Russell Wilson has actually been a solid quarterback. Here's the thing: he's not turning the ball over. He's not playing lights out, but he's not turning the ball over. And sometimes that's all you need out of your quarterback is not to turn the ball over. And with Deshaun Watson being out for the year, the Broncos still have a pretty serviceable defense. Their defense is still pretty solid, even though they gave up 40 points to the Dolphins and all this. That was the beginning of the year. They've tightened. I guess they're starting to believe in Sean Payton. I guess, or they're doing things in spite of him. I don't know. Whatever's happening, who cares? They're the Broncos. They're trash, but they are doing better, and they are at home, and they are facing a Browns team that are going in the opposite direction. Um, it's going to be I was at it was at 2.5, so now it's at 1.5. I really still like him at 1.5. I don't care. Russell Wilson over. Sometimes it's the quarterback. Russell Wilson over DTR. Absolutely, 100%. Rams Cardinals. Rams Cardinals. Hot butter garbage game. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree. I agree. Rams Cardinals. Um, Hot butter garbage game. The Rams have the Cardinals number. Matthew Stafford is healthy. So is Puka Nakua. Cardinals are still little bro. I don't even know. It doesn't even matter if he is or not because mm, d- Cup is 90 now. He's not 100% if he is. Um, I don't know why. Because Kyler Murray's back. That's probably why they got the Cardinals at 1.5. But last time I did this, they were giving the Rams a point. So now they got the that's what it was at. So now I thought the Rams were going to win anyway. Period. So I really like them at +5, plus one a point and a half. Yeah, so I'm rocking with the Rams actually. Cooper Cup looks Amish. The way his beard is, he looks Amish in the way he talks. Like one of the Amish people that stopped being Amish. He went to Rumspringa and never came back. He was like, "Nah, I'm cool. I like this life over here where you can actually do stuff." Bills and the Eagles. This is what y'all really came here for. Y'all want to see what I say about this game, don't you? You want to see what I say about this game, do not you? What do y'all think I'm going to say? What do you think? I'm obviously as an NFC team rooting for the Bills. I'm rooting for the Bills. Cooper Cup. Of course you're gonna say go Birds. You're gonna go broke, keep betting on them too. Now I mean they doing well. I mean you can't put them. I mean if it wasn't for a few fumbles and some drop passes, it might have been a little bit different of an outcome of a game, being objective. Um, but that's what it could have, should have. And football is about beating the person in front of you. At the end of the day, the dub is all that matters. Um, I think Buffalo's looking to bounce back. I think it's going to be a tough game. I think it's going to be tough. I think this might be a tougher game for the Eagles matchup wise than the other ones have been, including the Cowboys. Because it's about matchups, and it's not about just because the team has a good defense, so on and so forth. It's about matchups. I think Buffalo matches up very well against the Eagles, and this is actually going to be one of the losses I think the Eagles were going to have. I told people the Eagles are probably going to be about. I thought y'all going to be 10-0 almost at this point. Um, and then 10-1, 10-2 coming into this game. Um, I mean, after this game about 10-1, so I think actually gonna be 9-2. This is before I even seen anything before I predicted this as a loss for you guys. Because I actually had the Eagles beating the 49ers the following week in Philadelphia. I think you're going to lose to Buffalo, but I think you're going to beat the 49ers. Like, because people think I'm a biased fan, but I actually think you're going to beat the 49ers in. We scored 35 in this game. Big ass over going to throw three. Yeah, he is. Run for 200. Yeah. Josh Allen will throw a bunch of interceptions because that's what he does, but he also puts up a lot of points. And for some reason, the Eagles are allowing a lot of yards. Their defense, their back half of their defense is, and yeah, um, and Josh Allen scrambles a lot better than any QB they faced so far. So I think the Bills are going to give them fits. I still think the Eagles are the best team in the NFL right now. Until I see them up against the 49ers right now. The record alone, I don't care about the record. That stuff doesn't mean anything to me. You win. They're finding ways to win games. That's all that matters. You beat the team in front of you. Sometimes you're going to beat a team 40-0. Sometimes you're going to beat a team 7-6. Sometimes you're going to lose 40-10, but still win the Super Bowl. So it doesn't. It's the regular season. It's the NFL. I think they're going to lose to Buffalo, but I think the Eagles are still the best team in the league. Matchups matter though. I think last week was going to be the Super Bowl. So with that said, yeah, waiting for the actual pick. This is why I like the Bills at the 3.5 because I think they're actually going to win. Personally, Chiefs Raiders. I know that wasn't what y'all wanted to hear. Chiefs Raiders 8.5. I don't like. The Raiders defense is better than meets the eye. It's their quarterbacks that are causing these turnovers for the Raiders to lose by more than what they're losing. Um, so I think personally, the Raiders are going to lose, but I don't think they're going to lose by 8.5 points. It was at 43.5. I'm gonna have to change that. See, I always these things change, so that's why I do these real time, so y'all can see what my thought process was going into it. But then, because I obviously wait until the week is over, the games are won. I do these in the morning before here, as far as the point spread. I do my research throughout the week and me just watching the games. But as far as the point spread, I just did this morning and it already changed. So I like the Raiders as far as the points, but I like the Chiefs if you're picking head up. I ain't gonna spend a lot of time on that game. Ravens Chargers. Last two games. So it's a Sunday night game. Uh, Brandon Staley is imploding because he knows he's probably about to get fired. He's another one that's got to go. He's on the hot seat. He's about done. These wide receivers are Eagles with trash and stink. Yes, I agree with that. If the Eagles in 2005 and those years they were losing in the championship games 4 years straight, 4 years straight, 3 years straight, and one to the Super Bowl and lost. If they had better wide receivers, the year they had a good wide receiver, Terrell Owens, they made it to the Super Bowl, but he wasn't 100%. If they had 100% Terrell Owens, they might have won that Super Bowl. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, the Eagles needed some milk that year. They needed some help. And the Chiefs are this year. That's what they need this year. The Chiefs do not have a wide receiver to rely on outside of Kelsey, and Kelsey is banged up and he's hurt. So they ain't gonna win the Super Bowl this year. They're not. The Super Bowl is going to be an NFC team, and it's going to be out of Dallas, Eagles, or the 49ers. Might even be the Lions. That's who your Super Bowl winner is going to be. It's going to be one of those four teams. I just need to see a little bit more. I will have my Super Bowl pick after the Eagles 49ers game. Because whoever the winner is, that's who then represents the NFC. That's my pick for the NFC. I'm gonna have my AFC pick after next week, after this week, because it's Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? Let Thanksgiving do its Thanksgiving thing. I'll pick my AFC pick. I'll pick my divisional teams. But I have my Super Bowl picks after the 49er Eagle because whoever wins that, that's who I'm picking because that's who I believe it will be. Yeah, NFC will win the Super Bowl this year. The NFC is the stronger division this year. It is really only the Chiefs and the Ravens in the AFC. The Dolphins are soft and they're a product of an easy schedule. The Ravens are good, but it's funny to call the team 8-3 inconsistent. Um, but appreciate you, my guy. It's funny to call a team inconsistent that's 8-3, but the Ravens are the most inconsistent 8-3 team. Offensively, their defense is pretty good, but it's about matchups. I think if they try to get in a shootout with anyone like the Chargers, who they're going to try to do, they're going to lose. But whoever tries to ground and pound against them are going to lose. So that's why they always lose against the Browns, like they did, even with banged up Deshaun Watson. That's why they struggle against teams that can ground and play pound and play head up defense. So the Ravens would lose to a 49ers and the Eagles, the Cowboys, or Lions because they play that style of defense. Um, Same thing with the Chiefs. That's why the Chiefs lost to the Eagles. It's just that style of play right now is boss. You got to win in the trenches right now. The Chiefs do have a solid defense, but their offense isn't doing what it needs to be doing. With that said, like I said, I ain't gonna spend a lot of time with this hot butt garbage game. We this is almost obvious. With the Ravens, they're gonna be playing in LA. It's gonna be warm. It's gonna be nice, conducive. You know what I'm saying? We go with the Ravens. Last but not least, but it is the least because it's trash and it's a hot butter garbage game. We got the the Vikings and the Bears. Um, Justin Fields is back, but their offensive coordinator is still trash. Josh Dobbs is Josh Dobbs. He's a backup quarterback for a reason. But I think the Vikings have just a little bit more talent than the Bears does. The Bears are just badly coached. The Vikings at least got good coaches on their sides of the ball. Um, can't say the same about the Bears. They do not have any good coordinators. They do not have any good. Yeah, gasp. But yeah, I'm not gonna spend a lot of time with this hop of the garbage game, even though it's the last one. They should have had some of these other games flexed in, but who knows? Who knows? Anyway, last but not least, I like the Vikings over the Bears. And for those that are late, I'm gonna run through the picks for you again. I'm just not gonna go through the spiel. All right. So we like the Packers for the points, but we think the Lions are gonna win because it's a division game, and I do not like the Packers seven. I mean, I don't like the Lions 7.5 more than the Packers. They're gonna play them tough. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, no question, my guy. So we're doing Packers. Next one, because these are the Thanksgiving games. We also talked about that the reason you see the Lions and the Cowboys on Thanksgiving games is because they were the first Thanksgiving game, so they will always play Thanksgiving games. A lot of times they play each other, but they're always going to play. It's always going to be Lions and the Cowboys. And as of recently, about 10 years, I believe it was, we have that third game. Um, but the second game is the which one to yeah, absolutely. Gibbs is winning my fantasy right now. Um, yeah, I think that's why I have it over. But I think the Packers are going to pull within 7.5. I think the Packers are going to be close. But I think the Lions are going to win. Definitely going to win. Um, Cowboys and the Commanders. A nice Thanksgiving game. They played each other a lot on Thanksgiving. The Indians and the Cowboys, right? Back then, anyway. Um, Commanders always play the Cowboys tough. I like, I like it. I like it in a tight game. Pause. It's tighter than 12.5. Even though the Cowboys have been blowing people out, I like. I like the Cowboys to win, obviously, but I just think the Commanders are going to lose by less than 12.5 points. That is my personal feeling on that. Next up. And we talked about the 49ers not playing on Thanksgiving since 2014, which when they were hot butter garbage. I think that was the Chip Kelly year or Jim Tom Sewell, I think it was 2015 or 16. So I think Kelly was 2014 or it might have been the last hardball year, but we were trash in 2014. I think we actually played the Seahawks, ironically, in 2014. Yes. Yes, Chuck. Absolutely. um, Playing in Seattle, but 49ers own the Seahawks currently. The Seahawks are overrated. I think they're completely overrated this year. They're not as good as their record states, and they're not even that good. They're only 6-4 anyway. 49ers are healthy. 49ers are at the upper echelon and probably the second best, if not the best team in the NFL behind the Eagles. So absolutely. Yeah, and reason being we're healthy. That was the three games we lost were the three games Trent Williams wasn't healthy. And Debo Samuel. Those guys matter. All lives matter, brother. All players matter, brother. So yeah, I think the 49ers are going to do their thing. Their offense is crazy, and they have the number one defense. Jets Dolphins, same reasoning I had of other things. Robert Sala knows Mike McDaniel's offense. The Jets are going to win. I mean, the Dolphins are going to win, I believe, single handedly, but I think the Jets are going to pull within. And that's mainly because Zach Wilson won't be starting, turning the ball over and being hot butter garbage. So I think the Jets, their defense is solid enough. Yeah, I agree. I agree, and that's why I think the Eagles might be a better team than the Niners by a thin margin. It ain't nothing crazy by any means. Yeah, I think the Dolphins, but I don't know if they're going to beat them by 10 though. That's the thing. I still think the Jets are going to be close, just because of that defense. I don't know, Chuck. I don't know. We'll see about that one. We'll see about that one. Next one, we picked the Bucks. Outright. I just think they're going to beat the Colts. Um, I just don't see a lot in the Colts. They're not that good. I think that both teams will end up 5-6. Personally, I ain't gonna spend a lot of time on that game either. Boyle, yeah, yeah, Tim Boyle, attorney at law. But I like the Bucks over the Colts. Jaguars and Texans. I stated I like them outright. The Texans always beat the Jaguars. They beat them last game when they weren't as good as they are now. I think the Texans have gotten better, and the Jaguars are going backwards. Yeah, yeah. The Trevor. Yeah, I like the Texans. They always beat the Jaguars. I'm rocking with the Texans. And the winner will be on top in the division. That'd be crazy if they win the division. D'Amico Ryans needs to be coach of the year if the Texans win the division. CJ Stroud is an MVP candidate. Like, it's just crazy what the Texans are doing this year already, and they're only going to get better. Yeah, it's gonna be a good game. This one's gonna be good game. Yeah, I think so. I think the Texans. CJ Stroud just has it. He has it, and I told people he was the best quarterback out of that draft. Who knew he was basically a top 10 quarterback this year already in the league, and he's not 10. Top 10, and he's not 10. And then we talked about and that's where we're going back to the other ones. Panthers. Come on, stop being so slow. Panthers. Where's the Falcons showing up? I don't know. Panthers. Oh, it's after this. I'm tripping. Then the Falcons, Saints. He is. He is the truth. Falcons, Saints. Hopper the garbage game. I picked the Falcons. Steelers, Bengals. Even though Joe Burrow was out, I like the Bengals defense because Kenny Pickett is the worst quarterback statistically in the last 2 decades. So I like the Bengals in a small margin. They're going to eke that win out, I think. I think they'll eke that win out. And then Broncos, Browns. I like the Broncos. Russell Wilson over DTR. Rams, we already talked about. So that's the games. All right. And I am your boy. Not their boy. I'm your boy. GTA Smith. Reporting live. Tapping in. We're going to go back out to that Teenage Lust. Crooks and Villas. Holla at y'all next week. Have a thankful Thanksgiving. Don't be drinking and driving. Don't be out there doing nothing crazy. Don't do things that I would have done before I knew Christ. You know what I'm saying? Eat a whole bunch of food. Eat, drink, be merry. Love on each other. Forgive people. Honor each other. Be loyal to the soil. You hear me?
It's the blunts, all at once, from high top fades to tapers and mini pumps. Quick cast, fast, give respect if you blast. Yeah, this is teenage love. Teenage love. A teenage love. A teenage love. Teenage love. Bust money to us. Police get rough.